Welcome back, Fayettes, and Fantasy Fiends. You're listening to Book 42. I'm Scott.
And I'm Genevieve. If you're new here, welcome to our brand of chaos.
We bring the male and female perspectives, the wild theories, the heated debates, and of course,
the couples banter you never knew you needed, but now you can't escape.
She likes her books loaded with spice, betrayal, and enough brooding fae males to qualify as an emotional support animal.
And he likes his stacked with world-ending stakes, gritty fight scenes, and character trauma he absolutely wasn't prepared for.
Every week, we dive into the books that wreck your soul and make you cancel plans. And right now, we're ripping through the entire Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas.
And once a month, we shake things up with a standalone book review. Next up, Iron Flame! So, if you love unhinged theories, emotional damage, and two readers yelling about their fictional obsessions, you're in the right place. Oh, and before we forget, let's talk about book club.
Yes, the one where we're actually going to read the book this time. Probably.
I'm definitely going to read it this time, okay? The next meeting is Friday, June 13th at 6 p.m. Central at Salt and Story in Niceville, Florida.
Locals, come hang out. It's free, it's fun, and we promise not to aggressively analyze the smut unless you want us to.
And for everyone not in the Panhandle, you can still join us on Discord. Same time, same chaos.
This month, we're diving into A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. So come prepared for Norse vibes, blood magic, and hopefully some morally questionable decisions.
The link to join the Discord is in our show notes and on our socials. Just look for the Chaos Crew.
All right, Gin Rummy score update. The score is 1,988 to 1,894. You're still winning, but I caught you.
Ooh!
And I think for a split second I had a lead, right?
Listen, I'm not sure that we need to discuss that little blip in the system, really. Clearly, I am going to win this in the long run, so I'm not even worried about that.
Keep dreaming, but more importantly, happy Mother's Day.
Aw, thank you.
And you got to have your first D&D experience, so how was it?
Well, first, happy birthday to you. I'm sorry Mother's Day tried to overshadow your birthday again. And for D&D, I had a great time. I'm actually excited to finally play with you. We've talked about it for a while now. And everyone seemed to have a pretty fun time, until I started to fall asleep at the table at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I totally saw you dozing off like a tavern wench who just failed her constitution saving throw against bedtime. I was about 5 seconds from rolling to gently yeet you onto a pile of throw pillows. But I had a great time as well. It had been 30 years for me since I played. Hardest part was just trying to get back into character using the traits. I need practice with that part.
I'm also going to need practice with that. I'm going to have to look over my character sheet to kind of figure that out. I didn't really know what to expect, and now I kind of have a feel for it. So I feel like next week when we play, I'm going to have a much better grasp of it. However, it's almost like my decades of playing a mage on World of Warcraft has kind of prepared me to be a tiefling summoner. In fact, I may have been super nerdily excited about my character, and I deleted a level 50 priest because she had the name I wanted. So Angma is already a level 12, and she is a Draenei arcane mage in World of Warcraft. So, yeah.
You have completely now reached max level nerd, like final boss level nerd.
Finally! I have been waiting decades for this.
Genevieve the Spice Bringer.
Oh, finally. All right. Okay, before we hit play on the trauma, let's do 2 quick warnings. This episode contains spoilers for Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, and The Assassin's Blade as the 3rd book in the series. If you're not caught up, consider this your official spoiler shield.
Also, fair heads up, this is an adult content show. We swear like assassins with trauma, talk about murder like it's foreplay. And yes, we get very descriptive when things start heating up between characters. You've been warned.
Last week, we wrapped up The Assassin in the Underworld. Celaena pulled off the mission, only to find out that Arabin had set her up to kill the wrong man. I love and hate that for her.
But she turned the tables, bought her and Sam's freedom, packed up her assassin baggage, and pieced out of the guild. No debts, no master, just 2 weapons trying to make a normalish life work.
And yeah, they feel free for now. Okay, but come on. We all know peace never lasts long in this series, and we're in the last 100 pages of an SJM book. We already know what that means.
This week, we are diving into The Assassin and the Empire Part 1, Chapters 1 through 5. There's a new apartment, new routines, and some dangerously wishful thinking.
But not everyone's ready to let them go. And by the end of this section, let's just say something's coming. Something big.
All right, real quick before we dive into the drama. Yeah, it's shameless plug time. Sub, review, follow us on socials, do all the algorithm things. It keeps this chaos train rolling and helps other book nerds find us before they disappear into another reading slump.
Speaking of chaos, follow us on TikTok for sneak peeks, Saturday, Sunday, chapter announcements, and live shows every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central. Sometimes we deep dive. Sometimes Scott gets forced to read spicy scenes. It's a vibe.
Also, get your butt in our Discord. If you've ever screamed about a plot twist at 2 a.m. and wanted someone to scream back, we've got you. The Chaos crew is growing fast, and yeah, it's unhinged in the best way. Links in the show notes and on socials. Come yell with us.
And if you're more of a visual gremlin, yeah, we're on YouTube now. Full episodes, full facial expressions, and full spirals in glorious HD.
Small disclaimer, we did hit a little tech speed bump, so video uploads on YouTube are on a short break, but we're on it. The struggle bus is parked, the engine's running, and we've almost figured out how to drive it. Thanks for being patient while we pretend to be tech people.
Last but not least, check out the merch. Stickers and bookmarks are up at bookedfor2.com, so grab something cute and chaotic. All right, the spoiler warning's been dropped, the tea is hot, and the chaos is ready.
And now, let's dive into The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas.
Let's turn the page.
After.
Before chapter 1 even starts, we get after.
Are we talking ever after?
Nope, just
Sad after?
after. I'm not sure. We're going to have to wait and find out. We get to find out about after before the before.
So are we in the before or are we in the after?
We're in the after.
Are we in the present?
After the present.
So which present?
Can we get after
who's
it?
present? Who's present are we talking about? Are we talking about Celaena's current present or are we talking about her past present?
Past, present, participle, I think.
What the fuck is a participle now?
Listen,
Why are you throwing words at me?
If you're going to be ridiculous, I too can be ridiculous.
What the fuck is that?
We haven't even made it past the first sentence of this.
I'm just trying to figure out if it's the after that's before, the before that's the after.
What? You lost me on that one.
All right, continue.
Celaena's in a prison wagon, shackled, hollowed out, locked in silence. And the world, it's ash. Not metaphorical ash, actual gritty, burned it all down ash. It's on her lips, in her mouth, coating every breath like the taste of failure. But even that doesn't matter. Not really. Because in the silence, everything else fades. The hunger, the bruises, the cold, and most of all, the question she's trying not to ask herself. Did I do this to myself? Then the wagon passes under a stretch of trees and the light disappears. That silence that she was clinging to cracks, and just for a second, but long enough for everything she's been holding back to come flooding in. Not just the fear, not just the pain, the memories. Because in the dark, she remembers. All right. Well, that's a hell of a way to start a novella.
So, did we answer if it's the before, the after, or the before?
Well, she's captured, so I believe that this is before the after, actually.
Got it. So, we're in the before, the after, but not in the present of
Correct.
Of the before.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready to turn the page?
What? We're going to leave with that?
I was going to leave you there with that.
I'm sure you were. No,
yes.
you and I know where she's going.
Yes. Clearly, we know where she's going.
But
is the
if this
trip.
is your first time reading it, you're like, oh shit.
Where's she going?
Oh no.
All right. So are we catering to the people who don't know? No.
Well, no, because our listeners have to have read this third.
Yeah.
We're just saying that if we would have read this first, then,
we would
have been like, oh shit, where's this at?
Oh no, where is she going? How is she captured? How is she going to be saved?
Yeah.
Etc. Yeah. All right. And it sounds like they're about to tell us what happened, right? Because she's about to remember. So
that's probably why this says after.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we are the worst.
You're the worst.
You're the worst.
I'm the best.
Okay.
All right.
So let's see what happened before.
Yeah.
Because this is after.
Oh my God. All right. Are you ready to turn the page?
I am.
I can't do this anymore.
Let's go. A kiss, a fight, and plans begun. Welcome to Chapter 1.
One last job.
She skipped a theater drama, chased Sam to the vaults, and now they're plotting an exit? Welcome to Chapter 1.
All right, we're going back 11 days earlier, back at the Royal Theater, and Celaena is not here for a relaxing night of culture. She's here for emotional self-flagellation, apparently. This performance, she's seen it 4 times. It's basically her Super Bowl. But this year, she's not in her usual seat beside Arabin. No, this year, she's up in the rafters like some kind of emotionally wounded Batman. while Lysandra is in her seat next to him.
That's messed up.
So messed up. Tell me that's not a tactical fuck you.
Oh, you know what that reminds me of? Like watching the theater from the rafters, Home Alone 2.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't remember where he's with the lady with the birds and she takes him up to listen to the orchestra?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, it's been a long time since I've seen that. Okay. Arabin knew what this night meant to her. He doesn't just play games, he designs the board. And can we just acknowledge that even after winning the literal bid for Lysandra's virginity, he's still hogging her time like she's some kind of collector's item?
Because she is to him?
That's so gross. Anyway, it's been a full month since she last spoke to him. She's dipped. She's free. And yet she came here. So maybe she's still untangling the threads of whatever spell that he kind of cast over her.
She didn't need to be down there, trapped in all that pomp and perfume. Yeah, okay, Bougelina. Up here in the dark rafters, prime assassin vibes. She could have done a whole interpretive dance to the orchestra and nobody would have even noticed. She reminded herself she chose to leave Arobin. She paid off the debt, moved out, cut the cord. He lied, humiliated her, made her feel small. Screw that, she was done. But then the music shifted, off just enough to mess with her mood. And the sight of Lysandra cozied up next to Arobin, nope, she didn't regret a damn thing. But she also didn't need to watch the human equivalent of a garbage fire from the VIP box. So instead of just moving to block the view, she dipped. Just let someone else soak up the drama. She had better things to do than just sit in the theater equivalent of a bad breakup playlist.
So Celaena dipped out of the theater, skipping the Arobin and Lysandra disrespect parade, and went home. It was nearing 11 when she got back to the apartment she now shared with Sam. Shared in the literal sense, but not the financial sense, because no matter how many times he offered, she refused to let him pay for half. This place was her clean slate, her hard-won freedom. And yeah, I respect that. I get it. Then when she walked in, Sam was nowhere to be found. Just a note, waiting like a tiny paper time bomb.
I've gone out. Don't wait up.
Oh, no. Nope. That little sentence lit her up like an oil fire. She knew exactly where he'd gone. No hesitation. She crumpled that note like it personally insulted her eyeliner, chucked it to the floor, stormed back out the door, and slammed it behind her. Sam, my guy, you better start running.
Now we find ourselves headed to the vaults. Celaena throws some coin to the doorman, and we're using that word real generously, and makes her way toward the noise, because where there's yelling and bloodlust, there's Sam. She already knew it was him before she saw anything. That kind of chaos has his signature. This was not the kind of place Celaena needed to show face. The vaults had other services on the menu, and she wasn't about to get groped while trying to watch a fight. SJM slides this little gut punch too. Celaena knows that this could have been her life if Arobin hadn't rescued her. And honestly, that shit lingers.
She finally elbows her way to the edge of the pit and bam! Ah, Sam meat.
Hell yeah, sweaty Sam meat.
Served rare. Dripping. Anyways, he's fast. Like, blinking you missed him fast. The guy he's fighting, he's not even in the same zip code. Sam's got a split lip and a solid bruise on his cheek, but it's giving strategic damage. Like, he took the hits on purpose because, hey, let's be real. In this crowd, blood buys more than skill. He's not just fighting, he's performing.
Once Sam wrapped up his little Street Fighter cosplay, seriously, that man knew how to work a crowd. He finished the guy off like it was nothing. Just lights out. It was kind of brutal how easy he made it look, like tossing a toddler into a dodgeball game and acting surprised. And of course, Celaena immediately started thinking, hey, maybe I should hop in there and throw hands too. That fight would break the vault. People would talk about that brawl like it was Foreman and Ali in the Rumble in the Jungle.
I have not seen that, but I think I should probably watch that now. So she was so close to doing it. She hadn't had a contract in a whole month since she had walked out on Arobin, and her fists were basically twitching for violence. A little bloodbath appetizer? Yes, please. Sam finally spots her in the crowd, and oh man, the stare she gives him. No words needed. A clear message. You either walk out of here with me, or I climb in and we settle this gladiator style. Your move.
So, Celaena is pissed. Sam promised he would not go back to the vaults. Okay, technically he didn't pinky swear or anything, and yeah, they're broke, but still. And then this man has the nerve to say, it won't last forever. Not when we haven't been able to get any other contracts, and especially not with your lifestyle.
Oh!
Bruh, did you just call her high maintenance? She hissed like a cornered alley cat, but deep down, she knew she was right. She was Bougelina. She liked her silk sheets, fancy soaps, importer chocolates, whatever rich girl starter pack Arrowbin had loaded her up with.
And she hadn't exactly accounted for all of the little extras. Free food, servants, personal carriage rides. It's giving luxury tax. And now that she's footing the bill solo, yeah, that stuff adds up really fast. Meanwhile, Sam's out here getting punched in the face for cash because in 2 hours, he can pull in actual money. But Celaena's not backing down. She insists that they're better than this. And Sam, bless him, hits her with, then let's leave. Let's get out of Rifthold. And just like that, boom, silence. Not the good kind either. The kind that comes with spiraling questions. Where would they go? Would there be running water? Could she still get her lavender soap?
Jesus Christ.
She's got survival skills, sure, but she also has standards.
Standards.
She tries to be practical, says moving costs money. So maybe they each take one more job just to get the funds. Girl, sweetie, this is how every heist movie starts. Every single one. Just one more score and then we're out. Just we'll split this 12 ways. No, I'm throwing popcorn. Sam deserves to live. Walk away, please. Anyways, but if they walked away right now, we wouldn't have 5 more books. No, would we?
And look, the real reason they're not getting contracts, exactly what I said before. Arrowbin was the one pulling the strings. He was the plug, the gatekeeper, the bouncer, the whole damn velvet rope. Celaena didn't decide to be antisocial. Arrowbin programmed her to keep her circle tight so she'd never have anyone to turn to if she bounced the fuck out.
Wow.
You don't become the king of assassins by being a nice guy. You do it by playing 4-dimensional chess and burning bridges behind people before they even think to cross them.
That is some Midas level shit in the Plated Prisoner series. So now they've got another hurdle, actually asking to leave the Assassin's Guild, which is not as simple as turning in your name badge and walking out the door. These are the same people who send assassins after former assassins for unpaid dues. They're still official guild members, which means they owe dues. There are restrictions. And worst of all, they still have to answer to Arrowbin, the man who has already iced them out of the contract game entirely.
And now, there's probably a parting fee, because, of course there is. Want to leave the Assassin's Guild? Gotta pay the fuck you tax first. Just another chunk of change that they don't have. But the longer they wait, the worse it'll get. Sam's ready to bolt, and honestly, he's right. This isn't something you slow roll. They need to make the request, brace for the fallout, and hope they don't get gutted for even asking. So, tomorrow it is. And no, Sam's not going in there with his tail tucked. Neither is Celaena. But let's be real. When has Arrowbin ever let anything go?
Probably never, ever, ever. All right, so theater betrayal, detour to Sam meeting the vaults, and now we're negotiating freedom from the Assassin's Guild. All right, let's go back to the beginning.
All right, so chapter 1 is definitely a setup showing how life outside of Arrowbin is going for Sam and Celaena.
Yeah, and you called it, with Arrowbin being the master puppeteer of all of the contracts, of all of the assassins, of all of everything going on. They're having a hell of a time getting a contract. They haven't had any.
Yeah. And not only that, but she lost, her seats. Again, because I said that she's got that bougie-ass lifestyle that we'll talk about what Sam did in a minute. But let's talk about her bougie lifestyle. I said, she's got to start paying for her own tickets now to the concerts. And now she's watching Lysandra sit in her damn seat, which, disgusting.
I mean, clearly she doesn't have to pay because she can sit in the rafters.
Well, yeah, she found that. But what I mean is, still, the seats where Lysandra is now sitting is way better than where she's at now.
I mean, clearly she would rather sit in the royal box that no one is sitting in.
Yeah, but I do like what she's doing, though, because she was like, you know what? Even though I don't have those seats, no one knows I'm up here. I can dance all I want, do my thing, vibe with the music. So I was like, okay. Yeah. So she's got that silver lining, the optimist outlook.
Yeah, she's still enjoying at least the theater for being the theater. Yeah. And she enjoys the music still. She just didn't need to see all that bullshit. And Arrowbin did it on purpose because he's a dick.
Yep.
This is their thing. This has been their thing for the last 4 years. That was,
Of course, Sam is doing what every guy in his situation would most likely do and join a fight club. Because he's like, well, we need to make money somehow, and these are the only skills I got, so I'm going to join a fight club, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat style.
I mean, he's an assassin, and it's really easy. Clearly, it's just showmanship for him. I understand that Celaena is scared, but they've got to get money in somehow. What's Bougelena doing? She didn't say she was doing anything. She's
crying.
not fighting.
Exactly. She's crying about the fact that she doesn't have all the shit that she used to have.
That's true.
Under Arobin.
Mm-hmm.
She is wallowing while Sam is out there trying to do something. He's like, I got to do something.
And she's all yelling at him about her lavender soap. Don't you dare use my lavender soap.
But what he said, though, whoa.
I mean,
still.
It had to be said. Maybe not. Maybe not that bluntly, but he's an assassin and she's an assassin. You don't got to sugarcoat shit for assassins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean.
But real quick, let's go back to the gladiator fighting with his Sam meet out.
Yeah.
This scene was for y'all. That scene was for the girls.
Oh, yeah. Of course it was.
Sweaty, man meat, a little bit of blood, and he's fighting. Hands probably wrapped up and dirty. His dirty pants. It's like the scene.
Why are you making it even? That is not what.
I'm trying to help y'all out here.
Not all of that was in there.
But hey.
Do you hear me getting flustered?
I got you.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Anyways. Appreciated the Sam meat. And then the extra on top of that. Thanks, hun.
You're welcome, ladies.
Oh,
Jen.
Gosh. Yeah. Thanks, honey. Well, it sounds like they're contemplating leaving, right? And now they got to get out of the guild.
Well, it sounds like Sam wants to get the hell out, and it sounds like Celaena does not because she loves where she's at because she's just used to it. She's scared of that change. That's a huge change.
And this is Rifthold. This is where she's been since she was 8.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she's been here less than 10 years. Whatever. That's more than half her life.
She just got that apartment.
Yep. This has all of her favorite places. Her her confectionery, her perfumer. It said that in there.
So here's the thing that she needs to realize now. This was all her plan before Sam. Now it's with Sam. So her plans are going to have to change. She's going to have to adjust.
That's true. Compromise.
Yes.
Yep.
Because now you've added a second life to your plans.
Yeah. And I think she's going to she has to take responsibility for him or is going to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And real quick with Arobin. So they're going to go talk to Arobin again.
The man who doesn't like letting go of any of his things, his possessions. And
he's going to make them pay more for it.
He's going to consider his top 2 assassins his possessions.
Yes.
This is not, I don't know how this is going to go. I don't think it's going to go well.
No, this is going to go absolutely terrible.
All right. Well, are you ready to turn the page to see how it goes?
Let's go.
A contract signed in blue in chapter 2.
All the time in the world.
From groveling to glass castles to a job offer wrapped in red flags. Welcome to chapter 2.
The next day, when Celaena and Sam walked into the Assassin's Keep, it was like walking onto a movie set that hadn't updated its cast in a decade. Same housekeeper, same vibes, and Wesley still standing outside Arobin's door like the world's angriest coat rack, strapped to hell and back. Celaena clocked every weapon on him just in case she needed to go to Mortal Kombat the hallway. But Sam, dude just strolls up like his poker night and shakes his hand. Meanwhile, Celaena and Wesley give each other the kind of look that screams, one of us is going to bleed someday. That relationship is less colleagues and more final boss waiting to happen.
Of course, Arobin was waiting for them. Man's probably got clairvoyant rats stationed throughout the keep. Celaena and Sam took their usual seats like it was just another day at the office. Except instead of TPS reports, they were here to break ties with the head of the damn Assassin's Guild.
You have my stapler?
Nice. And she was ready. They had already decided that she would take the lead, so she hit him with the whole pitch. They're leaving Rifthold. They'd like to formally leave the guild, and no, this isn't some hostile takeover. Just a humble little assassin startup in a new zip code.
No big deal.
No big deal. Nothing dramatic. We're going over there.
No big deal. Arobin starts doing that smug little dance he does, avoiding the question, throwing out small talk like they're here to chat about the weather. Where are you living now? Bro, you know where they're living. Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Celaena plays along, matching his tone. It's all a game to him. Wordplay, misdirection. Until Sam finally starts to boil over. And just before things get spicy enough to go full WWE, Celaena throws down a number. Straight business. This is what we'll pay to walk.
And that's when this manipulative bastard does the thing. He counters, not just with any number, the exact amount she has left in her bank account. The precision of it is insulting and very violating.
And fucking brutal. That's awesome.
And then he has the audacity to say, it's a generous offer. Oh, go choke on your coin purse, Arobin. That coin purse. But Celaena didn't flinch, didn't blink. She just accepted it. Said she'd have the money wired over this afternoon and made it crystal clear. They were done. No more ties, no more control. She wasn't asking for freedom. She was buying it one last time.
Scene change and Sam is fuming. She just handed everything they had to Arobin. No fight, no bargaining, just, here you go, have all our gold and the last piece of our damn dignity while you're at it. Sam's jaw probably cracked from how hard he was clenching it. But for Celaena, peace of mind was the buy. No more shadows, no more guild ghosts crawling out of the woodwork, no more Arobin creeping around like some bootleg Bond villain. If the price was everything they had, fine, she'd pay it and sleep better for it. Still, where do they draw the line? Sam's asking the question like he hadn't already bled for this. And when she tells him that this is it, this is the line, he laughs. Not the funny kind, the bitter kind that says, yeah, well, it's a dumbass line. He can't deal. So he peels off down the street and just like that, poof, walking solo.
She just let him go, though. But her mind is Spiral City. She kept turning the past over like a stone in her hand, trying to find the flaw that cracked them. If she'd kept her distance, if she hadn't dragged Sam into Skull's Bay fiasco, maybe he wouldn't be in this mess. But that logic doesn't really track, and she knows it. He told her he loved her for years. He would have followed her into any storm. Silly goose. That boy has heart eyes for days, and she's only just now starting to admit that she might feel the same. Still, she wasn't about to blurt out that she'd secretly paid off his debt too. That wasn't about guilt, or at least not entirely. It was about giving him a real shot at freedom. But she wasn't ready to say it out loud. Not yet.
She's in her head, not even clocking where she's going, and suddenly she looks up, and there it is, the damn glass castle, right across the street. Celaena never even came close to this place if she could help it. Just the idea of bumping into the king? Hell no, absolutely not. That thought alone is enough to yank her back into herself and straight back toward her apartment fast.
Whew. Back at her apartment, it wasn't until dinner that Sam came back. And boy, did he come bearing news. He had found them a client, a big one, and the pay enough to set them up for real. There's just a few teeny tiny horrifying caveats. Wait a minute. This came after they asked to leave the guild?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. All right. First off, they don't know who the client is.
We do.
Masked up, hooded, full-blown mystery bag. No, that's not sketchy at all. Red flag number one. Second, the job needs to stay very hush-hush. No word getting back to the guild. Red flag number two. So we're already off to a great start, right? And then he drops the targets. You ready for this? Iowan Jane and Rourke Farron.
Yep.
You know, just the actual crime lord of Rifthold.
And there it is.
And his murder-happy sidekick. They are the reason most assassins have a short shelf life. People have tried to take them out before. And spoiler alert, those people no longer exist. But Sam, cool as ever, looks at her and asks,
do you want to be with me?
Hey, come on. What was she going to say? No.
And boom, got her. Sam knew exactly what he was doing. The whole, do you want to be with me move? Checkmate. Now they've got a plan. Do this job, get money, tie up all the loose ends, and finally get the hell out of Rifthold. Yeah, right. Clean break. No more looking over their shoulders every time a shadow twitches. She tells him she'll think it over, then drops an apology for earlier, grown-up stuff.
Aw.
Then they go full swoon mood. Cue the makeout sesh with the most heart-wrecking lines SJM's ever written. Like, rude. This was a personal attack. Celaena tells him she wants to savor every second of whatever they're becoming. And Sam hits her with, we have all the time in the world.
I swear to God. Nope. I'm sucking him back in. Ugh. I'm crying an assassin.
Okay, I'm good. Well, do you want to get this over with now, or do you want to start at the top? Let's just get this over with now. Get the crying out now.
No, I don't want to cry.
Which you might as well just cry. Because we already know what happens to Sam, which is why you were crying. Because we know there's not a lot of time in the world. Very little time in the world.
All right,
Sam.
back to the top. Oh, look what you've done.
Yeah, if only he knew. I'm so sorry. All right, at the top. Here we go. So they're heading to the Assassin's Keep to talk to Arobin to give him more money. Was that a tear you just flicked at me? That was another one. All right. Well.
You suck.
What?
Anywho.
I know it's sad.
What did you want to go back to?
What are we getting? What?
What did you want to go back to? What are we talking about now?
We're talking about Arobin. So they went to go see Arobin.
Oh, yes.
To give him even more money to really break their freedom.
And that asshole knew exactly how much money they had. I mean, why did she not have it stashed somewhere else? Or is there
17.
nowhere else?
Look,
I'm hoping she has something on the side.
I doubt it. Because he has had control of her since she was 8 years old. There is nothing she could do that he wouldn't know about. Not a single thing, because he's taught her everything.
Oh, you're right.
So yeah, he knew exactly how much. He knows what he's doing since Skull's Bay, because she mentioned it, since Skull's Bay.
Like 5D chess going on. Man, I got this tear rolling down. I couldn't suck it back in.
Is about this whole book. That's why it starts with the Pirate Lord, because this is how that was the domino. That was the first domino that was knocked over, and that led to all of this. That led to Sam's death.
Well, I'm annoyed
because he sent Sam with her, and they were just supposed to do the thing. I know you're annoyed. What?
Isn't the Noid the old thing back in the like?
Oh, the Noid from Domino's?
Yeah, you said Domino's, and I said I'm annoyed.
Wait, was that your attempt at what do they call it? Oh, what the hell is that damn? It's a pun.
Oh, I love puns. Puns are my favorite.
Wait, what were we even talking about?
I don't know. You were talking about Domino's. Skull's Bay was the first domino, and I chucked out.
Oh, that was a good one.
I know.
The Noid from Domino's. I wonder if even half our listeners even remember that. They probably weren't even old enough for that.
Oh, God.
Look up Domino's Noid commercials on YouTube.
Oh, my gosh. I hope it's a Mandela effect.
Dude, our commercials were so completely unhinged in the 90s. The Budweiser, the Bud Lights, unhinged.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Jesus. Anyway.
All right.
So Arrowbin.
Skull's Bay was the first domino. Got it.
Then Sam, pisses off because they get into an argument about her spending all this money, and he's like, "Oh, you just keep feeding into to Arrowbin. We'll never be free of him." And I get what he's saying.
Yeah, it feels that way. She just keeps cycling back around and giving him more money and giving him more money.
It's her pride. Her pride keeps killing her.
Yep.
Her pride and her
ego.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's stubborn as fuck.
But it sounds like they had an adult conversation later about it, and she apologizes. So
after Sam came back with the deed that's going to kill them all, or kill him, get her arrested, and then that's what the after is. After
she gets arrested,
this is the reason for the after. This is the before.
Yeah,
which leads to the after.
But we still don't know who hired them, right?
We still, right now, know. I mean, it's Arrowbin. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. He's pissed about Skull's Bay.
Yeah, but he wasn't the one who met Sam in the street. It was probably just some random ass dude.
No, he sent somebody, probably Wesley.
It wasn't Wesley. He would have recognized Wesley.
Not if they're hiding their voice. I don't know.
No, he just sent some no-name nobody that he hired off the street for like a silver or some shit.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so I do want to talk about something just for a titch.
A titch?
Yeah.
The fuck's a titch?
A small second?
Is that even a moment of, like, measurement of time? The fuck's a titch? Why do people say titch? What's a titch? I never understood a titch.
It's actually a British word.
For?
It's usually used informally and humorously to refer to a small person, especially a child. What? That is...
So you want me to give you a small child?
No.
That's what a titch is?
No, I don't. No, I don't. It's like titch is not recognized as a standard unit of time. Damn it.
I told you, ChatGPT agrees with me. So I will give you
all right.
a moment.
All right. A moment of time.
Yes.
Anyways.
Not a titch.
I want to talk about this little part that when she went to the glass castle, she said, the king of Otterland, quote, the man she feared above all others. And I just thought that specific phrasing was very interesting, and I wanted to point it out.
Well, yeah, if you remember the nightmares that she had, we are assuming that was the king.
I know that.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying I wanted to point that out.
Okie dokie.
All right.
And
I don't appreciate all of these heart-wrenching sentences either.
You put it in there. You put the quote in there. Who did the notes?
I'm talking about SJM. I'm not blaming you.
Oh, you're blaming me. I was like, how dare you? You did the notes.
No, I'm talking about SJM.
Oh.
We know, and that's rude. However, if this is your first time reading it, you don't know.
You don't know shit? You're like, they have all the time in the world. Happily ever. Fuck no.
Especially if you're not deep reading into these lines and you don't know that you have to do that or that you should do that and read the little subtle, not so subtle foreshadowings of doom. That's what I'm going to call him anyway.
Yeah, but to be honest, had we read this first and I heard the line, we have all the time in the world, you know damn well I would have picked it up and been like, he's going to get his ass killed.
No, that's some foreshadowing.
That motherfucker dead.
I mean, that's a typical trope in a movie. Like when they say that, we're like, oh, That's not good. You should not have said that. That's what we say. You should not have said that.
Yeah, you should not have said that.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that.
Like Scary Movie, like the lines you don't say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that.
So there's like, that was for horror. Now you have lines of romantasy. We have all the time in the world. Oh my God, dude, we should do that skit.
Oh, that's
like
a good
things
one.
you shouldn't say in romantasy.
We have all the time in the
We have
world.
all the time in the world. Well, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is Dylan's last line? We'll use his too. I'll be your friend on the other side.
Yeah.
On the other side.
I'm a sweet, nice guy. Goodbye. Dylan.
That's so messed up.
I love Dylan.
Oh.
He's my favorite short-lived character of all time.
All right.
He's such a sweet boy.
Oh my gosh.
All right, you ready to turn the page?
Yeah, I am. Let's go.
Flawed strategy in chapter 3.
This time, his way.
One promise, one plan, and one very bad smile from Farron. Buckle up for chapter 3.
The morning after the kiss, the promise, the we have all the time in the world lie we're all pretending isn't sitting like a loaded weapon on the nightstand. Celaena woke to sunlight and the sight of Sam asleep beside her. And just like that, she made the call. She would do anything for him.
There's that trope.
So when he finally opened his eyes, she told him she was in. They'd take the job. They'd bring down Farron first, then Jane. Just give them a few days to map it all out, learn the routines, prep the exits. It's a suicide mission wearing a smile, and she knows it. But love has a way of daring you to outrun your own survival instincts. And Sam, he just looked over at her, pulled her close, and told her to go back to sleep.
All right. You know how we're rewatching The Strain right now?
Yeah.
And you know how we already know what happened, but yet we still watch the show and we're like, don't do that. No, don't do that. You're like, that's how I feel right now. Like, we know what's going to happen, but we're still like, no, don't take the job. No.
Feels like screaming into the void, like,
Right?
come on, you know exactly.
Oh, terrible.
Have you never
Terrible.
seen a movie ever? This is exactly the wrong thing.
I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty sure they've never seen a movie ever, considering the time period. Maybe plays.
Plays are like movies.
Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Shakespeare style plays would have been like, oh, yeah, Romeo and Juliet. They're literally watching Romeo and Juliet. Watch Romeo and Juliet. Go to England, watch some Shakespeare, and then you'll change your mind. I'm telling you.
Okay.
These are star-crossed lovers right here. After breakfast, and after sending that snake Arrowbin the rest of her damn money, Celaena and Sam spent the day intel gathering on Jane. And surprise, surprise, Rifthold's top-tier crime daddy has more security than a Marvel movie set. Guards in plain sight. Guards in the bushes, guards behind curtains, guards under the tables, guards disguised as flower pots, guards pretending to be statues, guards in the damn walls. I wouldn't be surprised if there were guards in the soup. The dude had eyes and ears in every alley. His house, uptown, rich people vibes, and locked down tighter than the Sith Temple. So they stuck to the classic assassin casual stroll by, which just so happened to line up perfectly with Farron stepping out the front door.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about Farron real quick. This isn't just some petty thug with an ego problem. This is a full-blown sadist with a resume. In his late 20s, he's already infamous for his brutality. Farron was known for torture. He enjoyed it, even, which naturally made him the perfect second in command for Rifthold's top crime boss. Jane didn't need a right-hand man. He needed a human warning label, and Farron fit the bill like a bloody glove. So when Farron steps out, locks eyes with Celaena from across the street, and smiles at her, it wasn't flirty.
Ew.
It wasn't friendly.
Ew.
It was actually the stuff of nightmares.
Ew.
It was the kind of smile that says, I already picked out your casket lining. And I'm over here yelling, okay, girl, call it off. Just hard, nope energy. And how is this not setting off every internal alarm? He smiled directly at her.
Yeah. Sam says, I'm glad we're taking him out first. Yeah, same buddy. Nobody wants the greasy chaos goblin chasing them into a dark alley. They decide the house is too locked down to be worth the risk. So they go with plan B, ambush Farron on the move. Then, because we apparently learned nothing from every horror movie ever, they split up. Sam's like, I'll tail the sociopath. You go get Jane. His real goal, keep Celaena as far from Farron as possible.
Celaena, and listen, me too, protests hard. This would be safer if they stuck together. Standard buddy system protocol, come on. But no, Sam's pride takes the wheel. He doesn't want Celaena shadowing him. Doesn't want to look like he needs backup. There's still a little old bitterness lingering. This was his mission, his client, and he wants to call the shots. So for this time, she's just going to let it go. And this time, they're going to do it his way.
Well, Celaena had somewhere to be, her weekly dance lesson. Sam kept up the Farron recon while she headed to the private studio. 4 hours later, she was walking back home, muscles loose, mind quieter. Dance had always been a part of her training, not just to blend in at court or know the latest dance moves for a masquerade. No, Celaena went above and beyond, kept up the lessons for the control, flexibility, grace, assassin shit, but elegant, which is very true. Dance would be absolutely perfect for that.
I'm so terrible at dancing. Oh, I got to work on my dancing slash assassin shit. That's really hard to say.
Now, when we're talking dancing, we're talking like ballet and ballroom and like stuff that like really does a lot of bendy and twisty, not like your Jim's neighborhood Zumba.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to do Zumba. I didn't think that was real dancing. I feel like that's a good cardio workout for me, at least.
Yeah. I did Zumba once. That one night after one of my classes.
Yeah, that's not fair for you to do Zumba after one of your classes when it's basically a boot camp class on steroids.
Yeah, it's a nice cool down.
Epic. All right. So she's already mentally building her wish list for the next city, which is going to have to include a dance studio, of course, a dance instructor, a library, a clothier, a perfumer, a jeweler, and yes, a confectionery. Not a candy shop, a confectionery. It even better have a sign that says, in ye old calligraphy on the window, candy shoppy. Okay, I swear if this place exists, someone drop me a pen because I am not living my best life right now. I need a confectionery. Even with all of that, she would walk away from Rifthold without a second glance. If it meant being with Sam, she'd trade the silk sheets and sugar-dusted pastries for whatever quiet, safe town they landed in. And then she unlocked the door to her apartment, and Arab and Hamill was sitting on her couch.
I told you, that son of a bitch, he knows his shit. He's not the king of assassins for no goddamn reason. He knows what is going on.
And she unlocked the door to her apartment.
Yes.
To get in.
Exactly. But we'll get to that.
Ugh.
So real quick,
yes.
The very first scene, Celaena, after they say, oh, we have all the time in the world. Yay, look at us. We're going to live forever and be together forever. She agrees to take the job.
Yeah. All right. Job on.
And that's where you start throwing your popcorn and smashing stuff. Throwing your book because you know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
That's a good book throw scene right there, I feel. Like, oh, don't take the job. Wah! Throw your book across.
Right? No.
Mm-hmm.
One last job now.
All right. Then she gives him money to dipshit.
Yep. Ugh.
And then they go to scope out Farron and Jane.
And Farron looking at her like that, like, how did that not scream recognition or something going on? Or how did that not throw like the giant red flag?
Thank you.
Ooh, this is a terrible fucking idea.
Thank you.
Like, call that shit off. If he had been grinning at me, I mean, this is if I were assassin, you know?
Yeah.
I would be like, nah, bro. Like, that was way too deep into my soul, staring at me from a sadist. Like, how are you going to be on the same level as Otterland's assassin notoriety wise and not know each other, not know what the other one looks like?
I'm going to try to play devil's advocate with this one.
Okay.
For Celaena.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm going to try. So the way I think she's thinking is a few things. One, she's attractive. She's young. Maybe he thinks I'm attractive. Gross. Two, yes, as an assassin being trained by the great assassin, she should have on instinct known that that's a bad look. However, I think she has in her head, okay, let me just, we're free once we do this job. We're gone forever. So she's got that butterfly effect. She's not thinking clearly right now because she's thinking ahead and not staying in the now. She's thinking about the after, but not the after that we read. So before that after, but after this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you little shit. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, I think everyone at this point knows what I mean and where we're at in the story, I think.
Yes. I think everybody knows where we are in the story.
I just keep thinking about that Spaceball scene where they're trying to find where they're at. Yes, with Dark Helmet, and they keep fast forwarding and rewinding. Like, where are we? We're now, sir. Well, what is now? Bring us back to then. What's then? Then is now. Oh, so that is such a classic scene.
Oh, I'll have to watch that one again too.
That's all I thought about. That's all I think about every time we do this joke. That's why I keep it going.
Oh, okay, now it tracks. Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so Arabin's on her couch now. That's not good.
That rough.
Can't be good. Yeah. I love her list of requirements for her next city. Those are fun Beaujolais requirements.
That's the shit right there. That's the shit that got her. That's getting her in trouble.
Yeah, but I like that she makes it to her door and she's like, you know what? For Sam, I won't worry about all of these things. Maybe some of them. Maybe some of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Some of them she's going to worry about, but not all of them because of Sam. And then fuckface is sitting on her couch.
See, and that's the issue.
What?
That I am having right now with Celaena.
Hmm.
We give Kale so much shit and grief. Well, you and I don't. People do over Nehemia's death, right?
Yes.
You and I both agree he's a little bit involved, but not as much as Archer and Nehemia herself.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't say anything, right? Because of his morals, because of his loyalty and blah, 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 blah. Celaena has done all this stuff because of her pride, pulled Sam in with Skull's Bay, got him in trouble, and just keeps going and going and going and going. I know Sam's in love and he's a damn fool, but she's part of his death. She is not at fault for him dying. You can't say she's not.
Wait, what?
That she's at fault for Sam's death.
You think she's at fault for Sam's death?
The Skull's Bay was, again, you laugh
The
at the domino.
catalyst.
Yes, it was the catalyst.
But
and she pretty much forced Sam's hand into doing it. She knew that Sam was not going to let her do it by herself. And she knew the consequences.
She did not know that.
Get the hell out of here. She knew the consequences from Arrowbin. And especially right after you do that, here's all of this money. I'm getting the fuck out.
You think she expected to have the ever-loving shit beat out of her to unconsciousness?
Yes.
No.
You don't think in the, what was it back then? 7 to 8 years that she has known him at that point, when she's 16, 17 years old, that she doesn't know how ruthless he is?
But she was not expecting that to be unleashed on her.
Because she has never done that.
And that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I don't remember where
and
we were
she
going
thought
with
it was just going to stop there?
I mean, that was a pretty fucking brutal punishment. But I mean, she did fuck up a whole slave trade deal, so.
You don't fuck with a mobster's money. He is a mobster. We keep calling him the King of Assassins. He is first and foremost a mobster. And they will kill. They don't give a fuck if your family, if it's their own son. They will kill them.
That's fair. Well, he's sitting on her couch, so.
So that's what I said. He knew about her apartment this entire time. I guarantee it. Guarantee he's known.
I mean, she had the people bring her stuff over there from the keep. So, yeah, of course he knew.
Exactly.
She could pay them to be quiet and he could just pay them a little bit more. Like, well, here's this instead.
But my thing is, everyone talks about, like, Sam. I'll always remember Sam after reading this book. Always remember Sam. But no one ever talks about, like, oh, it's fucked up what Celaena did to get Sam killed. But we talk about Kale. Oh, it's fucked up what Kale did. Yeah. Celaena's at fault for getting Sam killed. Partially. Mm-hmm.
Sam made his own adult choice.
Same with Nehemia. Nehemia made her own adult choice.
And that's why we blame Nehemia and not Kale.
That's my whole point. You and I are on the same page. You and I
am
are
not
vibing.
blaming Celaena for Sam's death.
I'm not saying we should. But my point is, if we are going to blame Kale, if not you and I, if they are going to blame Kale, then they should blame Celaena, because Celaena's
the same.
It is the same. When it comes to, like, how big a fault they are, like, percentage-wise, yes, they are about the same, very small percentage.
Minimally.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah, so don't give Kale shit if you're not willing to give Celaena shit. You and I both agree Arrowbin's a piece of shit. It's not Celaena's fault for Sam's death. Yeah. You and I both agree Nehemia chose her own death. Archer's a piece of shit. Not Kale's fault. Kale should have said something, but whatever. Celaena should have not got Sam involved in the slave trade. Whatever. Okay? End of story. Stop being mean to fake characters. I said that.
Did you say stop being mean to fake characters?
Yeah. Poor Kale. Doesn't deserve it.
You're so cute. Stop being mean to fake characters.
Yeah. Just kidding. Anyway,
I love you so much.
You ready to turn the page?
I am. Let's go. Knock, knock, knocking on Fate's door in chapter 4.
What we leave unsaid.
When Arrowbin says, I love you, and you immediately need a tetanus shot, yeah, it's time for chapter 4.
Celaena poured herself a cup of tea, trying to quiet the riot in her brain. Did he go through her stuff? How long had he been sitting there like some smug vulture? She grabbed a second cup because, manners, and walked back to the living room like her pulse wasn't trying to break the speed limit. Arrowbin wasn't here for small talk. No, he wanted to know what the hell she and Sam were thinking, taking out Farron and Jane like they're running some two-person purge squad. And of course, he knew he's the king of assassins. That kind of information hits his desk before it even exists. But even he wouldn't take on Jane. So what the hell was she doing?
Celaena isn't buying it. Not the concern, not the timing, not the tea. She's seen this show before. To her, this is just another one of Arrowbin's manipulative games. A new mask, same puppet master. So she tells him to leave, but he doesn't flinch. Instead, he goes for the jugular, tells her she's not invincible, that those men she's targeting, they don't just kill you, they erase you. And her ego flares because
say that again. What's flaring?
Her ego
What is
flares.
flaring? What is flaring right now? So
because maybe he's not warning her out of care. Maybe
but he's warning her.
He is, but maybe he's scared. Maybe deep down he knows that if she pulls this off, she'll be the one who finally outshines him. And that rattles him. He snaps and drops his mask and shouts, he's trying to save her life, not compete with her. And then classic Arabin, he pivots, tries to make her question Sam.
Does Sam know who you really are?
As if she's some monster lurking behind her, one of her names. And then the final card. He says he loves her for the first time ever.
Ew.
What?
That's ew.
But even that, actually, especially that, feels like another move in a rigged game. There's no honesty in it. It's just another power play wrapped in velvet. And for once, she sees it. She really sees it. And she tells him to leave again. And this time, he listens.
Scene change, and we're having dinner at the Black Signet. And this should have felt like a breather. Sam's across the table, giving her the full rundown on Jane and Farron, routes, routines, weak spots. But Celaena barely touches her food. She hadn't told him about Arobin breaking into their apartment, hadn't said a word about finding that smug bastard camped on her couch. And now, the apartment doesn't feel the same. He didn't just show up, he invaded it, took something from her without even touching a thing. Sam notices a shift in her, asks if she's okay. She lies, says she's just tired. He presses, did something happen? And she still can't bring herself to tell him. Even now, when they're building this fragile new thing together, there's a wall between them. And she wonders, will she ever actually be able to tell him everything?
So instead of sharing the thing that's actually eating her alive, Arobin sitting on their couch, like he belonged there, she pulls a deflection. Tell me your deepest secret, she says, like this is just a game. But Sam doesn't hesitate. He says his only secret that he has borne his entire life soon is that he loves her. And he didn't think he'd ever get the chance to say it. And just like that, the air shifts. So she tells him her secret too, the one she can say, that deep down under all the bravado and the blades and the titles and the names and the bouginess and the lavender soap, she's a coward. She's scared. She's always scared. But Sam doesn't even flinch. He doesn't try to fix it. He just tells her what he does when fear creeps in for him. He says,
my name is Sam Cortland, and I will not be afraid.
It doesn't always work. Sometimes it just makes him laugh at himself, but it helps just enough. And Celaena likes that. A little sliver of hope stitched into fear. But Sam likes Celaena. And instead of talking about what's still lurking under the surface, they kiss. And then they fall into each other, into the comfort, into the night, and the silence stays there between them.
Okay.
Almost adult communication.
Almost. But real quick, let's talk about how Celaena did inadvertently, well, I wouldn't say inadvertently, did have a part in getting Sam killed.
Why are you bringing this up again?
It's right here.
What? Where?
Arobin is literally telling her, don't fuck with Jane and Farron. Do not do it. Even I wouldn't do it. Do not do it. And she's like, I'm going to be better than you one day. I got to be better. The fuck?
She said that
her pride, ego.
She thought that that was what he was trying to do. So yes, her pride and ego definitely were in there. She was trying to play 12D chess and 5D chess and 9D chess when nobody was playing chess.
Look, what she doesn't realize and what Arobin was there to tell her, in my opinion, was this. If you want to talk about playing games, Arobin, Jane, and Farron are playing fucking Monopoly, right? Sam and Celaena are playing Chutes and Ladders. That is basically what he's trying to tell her.
The crime lord and the king of assassins. They didn't get that way on accident. But, I mean, he has been grooming her for 9 years to be his replacement. But, I mean, that's potentially decades in the future. So
now, do I agree that this is still a mind game? And hear me out. This is what I think he might be doing. I think he sent someone to give them this job, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the hopes that they would take the job. He shows up at the apartment. He says they are dangerous. Don't do it. I love you. All this other stuff in the hopes that she comes running back to him.
Oh.
And because she does not, they proceed with dead.
Okay.
So that's what I think is happening here.
That makes sense why he would do it that way, why he would say it that way. Okay. And he got mad because he's like, hey, I'm trying to save you. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about not telling people things, just like Kale did not tell Celaena and Nehemia about what was possibly going to happen to Nehemia, where here we are at dinner and Celaena's not saying shit.
Why is she going to tell him at dinner? She can tell him later. You don't know that she's not going to tell him.
Fucking Arrowbin shows up randomly at your apartment.
Yeah, no, I totally
randomly at your apartment. Like she said,
that is
she felt invaded.
That is definitely something Sam should have known right away. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and warning us not to take the job. So again, not telling information.
It is not the same as that. I understand that, yes, they are not sharing information, but it is not quite the same.
It is the same.
It's not the same.
Real quick. Mm-hmm. The king told Kale there is a possible threat, that he has heard of a threat, but don't worry, I've got it, right? Okay, so that's why Kale was like iffy about telling Nehemia. Here, Arrowbin is literally showing up unannounced to warn her and be like, don't fuck with these people, you will die. That is a straight warning. That is not probably you will die. You will die. Bad things will happen if you fuck with these people. And she says, my ego is more important than anything. I will do this.
They both knew that. They talked about this. Sam and Celaena talked about how shitty of an idea this was. Celaena talked about how shitty of an idea this was at Sam. And then it was like, oh, there's sunlight on Sam's face. We should do this.
But wouldn't it be important information to know that the King of Assassins showed up to tell you that, hey, even I wouldn't do this?
Just because she hasn't shared it yet doesn't mean she's not going to. Sam's not dead yet.
But we don't know that yet.
Sam's not dead yet.
We know Sam dies, but we don't know, like, the...
Yeah, I'm saying you're jumping the gun. You're jumping the gun.
You're a gun jumper.
You're accusing her
You're a gun jumper.
of not telling him something, and she hasn't even been given the chance to do it yet.
Tell him now. It just happened. Jesus Christ.
I agree with you. You should have told him at dinner or before they made out, whatever. Should have, yes.
Well, no, instead they swapped to tell me your deepest secret. Because that's what the fuck they should be talking about right now. Now, granted, it did give at least me the most emotional part of the book where my name is Sam Cortland, I will not be afraid, because now I know how she got it. Well, we know how she got it. So that made me tear up a little bit. I sucked that fucker back in, though.
You are way better at that than
not happening.
Yeah. I had to hold it in when you read that line, because for some strange reason, you decide, oh, I'm going to go all sultry voice, microphone, whatever. And I'm like, why is
so
this
real
working?
quick,
Stop it.
Probably shouldn't tell you this.
What?
But as soon as you started reading your part here and I knew I was going to say that line, I started a countdown to see how long it would take for you to cry. But you didn't, so I had to turn off the countdown.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
I just want to see how long it takes.
You are so rude. That's hilarious. All right, I'm going to have to learn how to like
just go off screen where I can't see you like this.
Let me wipe my eyes real quick.
Why is water filling up in your glasses right now? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great. Okay.
All right, you ready to turn the page?
Yes, I am.
Staying Alive in Chapter 5.
Plans and passage.
Tracking a monster, dodging trauma, and surprise travel plans. Strap in for Chapter 5.
The next day was all shadows and surveillance. Celaena and Sam trailing Rourke Farron through every one of his routine stops like they're casing a ghost. And Farron, he made it embarrassingly easy. No disguises, no change of pace, just parading around the city in the same ominous black carriage, like he was just starring in his own villain origin story. There was no subtlety, no caution. The man practically screamed, "Assassinate me!"
Red flag.
Yeah, red flag, exactly. And so Celaena thinks Sam's not going to have any trouble taking him out tomorrow night, right? Then Farron makes a stop that twisted Celena's stomach, the vaults. Of course, he was tied to that cesspool. That's right. Jane owned the vaults too, which was exactly why Celaena had been pissed at Sam when he chose to fight there. The entire place was tainted. Money laundering, blood sport, human trafficking. It was all under Jane's control. Still, she decided it was worth the risk to follow Farron inside in the middle of the day because she needed to see it. She needed to understand what made this man so dangerous, why his name echoed in the same breath as hers. She had to know why his reputation rivaled Otterland's assassin. Ego.
Fuck ego. A couple silver pieces slip to the vault's guard and boom, they're in. Sam and Celaena move through the chaos like it's just another Tuesday. Not a Thursday, but a Tuesday. Yeah, different.
Yes.
Eyes locked on Farron, who's busy talking to Helmsen, the Fight Night hype man / morally bankrupt cruise director, basically this version of Michael Buffer. They hit the bar, blending in with the regular lunch crowd, half drunk, half fighting, half chewing on something that might once have been meat. Celaena's watching it all and thinking, yeah, maybe I'll just burn this place to the ground on the way out. A final fuck you from the one and only Sardothian. Honestly, fair. They skipped the mug hold trick this time. The sloshing drinks over the rim like seasoned vault patrons. Nothing says we belong here like pretending your pint of swill is in 90% backwash.
And then the real horror show begins. Farron leads Helmsen on a little tour of the alcoves where the vault girls sleep. If that sounds innocuous, it's not. It's grotesque. The air shifts the moment they enter the hall. Fear rolls off the girls in waves. It's thick, it's sour. Farron doesn't even have to touch them, but the inspection is worse in its own way. He comments on them like they're livestock, cold, clinical, while Helmsen echoes his words like a sick little parrot. It's revolt. And when Farron is finally done, Helmsen bails like he can't stomach what's next, which turns out to be worse. Farron snaps his fingers and two brutes drag out a man in shackles, who is panicked and trembling and already begging for his life. He's screaming about a debt, one he could never repay, something about he tried to cheat his way free, and Farron just barely blinks at him and gestures toward another door, one that leads down a stairwell. Down is never good.
5 minutes later, the scream started. Not just pain. Torture! Celaena didn't have to guess what was happening behind that door. She'd heard it enough back at the keep to recognize it instantly. It's the kind of sound that worms its way into your ribs and stays there. The bartender, probably on his 8th shift of the day, casually waves at the band to crank it up. Such a dick move.
Jeez. Cover up the sounds of screaming, please.
Well, here's the thing. Like, what kind of band is this? If it was a metal band, they'd probably be like, fuck yeah, add this shit to our show. Like, dun, 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 ah! Like, yeah. Dun, 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 ah!
Oh, my God.
Dude. It's probably a fucking, like, indie band or something going on tonight. So they're like, turn it up.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
Indie band?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, they're over there trying to jazz hands the trauma away while Farron's running his own Saw reboot downstairs. Sam wants to end it right now. He's done. He's ready to go full John Wick, but Celaena, she knows better. This place is wired against them. They're outnumbered, off balance, and completely screwed if they start something now. Still, as they force themselves to leave, the screams don't stop. Not even close.
Sam wanted fresh air. Needed it, really. They wandered through the public park, silent, shaken, until he finally dropped onto a bench like his legs couldn't carry the weight of what they had just seen.
We're not like that,
he whispered into his hands. But the thing was, that same sentence had been looping over and over in Celaena's mind the whole walk also. Arobin had trained them to kill, yes, but not just kill, to maim, to torture. I'm going to have to take some lessons. To draw agony out like an art form. He used the worst kind of people as props, despicable monsters with crime sheets long enough to choke on, and turned their pain into lessons. How to skin a man without killing him, how to stop a scream, how to keep a body alive longer than it should have lasted. He didn't teach her how to be ruthless. He taught her how to master it, how to make pain clinical, clean, efficient. And he did it by feeding her rage.
Before Skulls Bay, she didn't question much. The jobs came in. She took them. She liked to think she had some kind of moral code. I don't enjoy it, so I'm not like them. Like, that was enough to make her different from the monsters. But now, they're out. No guild. No Arobin. They get to choose. Set their own rules. No more contracts that make her stomach twist. No more pretending she doesn't see the rot underneath. She tells Sam they're not like Farron. That guy, he doesn't even have a line to cross. He is the line. But Sam, he's still got light in him. He still gives a shit. Celaena, though, she's not sure. She's seen how deep the darkness runs in her, and she wonders how far could she go if she stopped trying to pull herself back.
Back at the apartment, the energy was sharp, literally. Celaena was at the table sharpening her daggers, sharpening Sam's daggers. Sam was across from her, hunched over the map of the city, tracing escape routes with that pinched look he got when he was thinking too hard. They'd spent the afternoon back at the vaults, continuing the slow, careful stalking. Celaena had even peeled off to check on Jane's movements. Big shock. The man hadn't even left his house. Big bad crime lord, and he's in bed by sunset? Snooze fest. But with all the intel in place, they came to a decision. Farron would be the most vulnerable at the end of the day. Exhausted, off guard, running errands for Jane all day, as usual. That's when Sam would strike.
Nice. So we're like big bad crime lords. We're in bed by sunset.
Yeah, I love it.
Nice. And Sam, he was going full on armored up like a walking fortress. The super suit was basically an armory by itself, but he'd load up with extra blades. His plan wasn't close combat. He was going for arrows. A dozen escape routes mapped out. This was no small mission. But hold up. Here comes the curveball. Celaena wasn't going. What the hell, Sam? Why the fuck not? Sam tells her that she'll be here packing. Oh, and surprise, they're leaving in 5 days. He secured them passage to the southern continent. Celaena's head spins. Southern continent? They never agreed to that. And now she's pissed. This wasn't our plan.
And then he hits her with it. Is this about Arabin? Is that why she didn't tell him about the break-in? Ooh. Because while she was off tracking Jane, Arabin found Sam, cornered him, played his usual twisted little game, trying to wedge a knife between Sam and Celaena without ever actually touching the handle. Told Sam to ask her what really happened when Arabin found her when she was 8 years old. There were insinuations, manipulations, all of it. But Sam didn't take the bait. Told Arabin he didn't care. But Arabin just kept going, kept pressing. And that's when it hit Sam. If they didn't leave, really leave, they'd never be free. Not really. Not from Arabin.
Then, Celaena's eyes. The fear in them when she asked Sam about Arabin's visit. Sam knew right then it was her business. If she wanted to share it, he'd be there. But she needed to do this on her own. The tension melted. Celaena finally admitted it. She was scared. But she tried Sam's trick.
I am Celaena Sardathian, and I will not be afraid.
Sam smirked. Maybe try with a little more conviction next time. But when she looked at him, there was that soft, loving look in his eyes. It hit her. Her future. Happiness. Uh-oh. A future she never thought she'd get, and unfortunately won't get. Then Sam, with his grin, I love you.
And Celena's reply, instead of I love you, is I hate packing.
There's that tism, because she just won't say I love you.
She's scared. I don't know if she's ever loved anyone.
Okay.
She's never felt this way for anyone. So is that love in her mind?
All right. Well, first, let's start from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I know. We'll get there. We'll get there. So they're just following Farron into the vaults and realize how dangerous and crazy he is.
Yeah, and she's more than willing to burn the vaults down.
However, she thinks that she can handle it because she has seen this in the Assassin's Keep as well. So she can handle it. So again, her ego and pride is getting the best of her again.
What do you think it is that she thinks she can handle? Taking out Farron and Jane?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's that ego. That ego.
Every damn time.
Oh, girl.
So then we move to the apartment. Sam's getting all fucking assassined up. Blades everywhere. Getting ready to go out to do his thing against Farron and tell Celaena, you're not going because you need to pack. We're out of here in 5 days, which kind of pissed her off.
Well, yeah. Where the fuck is your backup?
Exactly.
Hello?
Didn't he just give her shit for not having backup during the Donovan hit the first time when Philip captured her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
It's ridiculous.
So going back to both these clowns are at fault, actually. I kind of am starting to not. I mean, I feel bad. I didn't want Sam to die, but I'm starting to be like, all right, this is kind of your guys' fault here because Arabin even went and visited Sam. And this was the point I was going to get to. He said, hey, ask Celaena about what happened at 8 years old. And here's my thinking. Here's what I would do if I were Sam. If I would have asked Celaena, I'd be like, hey, what happened? Had Celaena actually opened up and told him, I am this, because if she is in love with him, would you not want to be like, this is who I really am? So if she would have said, I guarantee if she would have said, hey, I am Aelin Galathinius, I am the heir to Terrasen, plans probably would have changed and they never would have done this hit, guaranteed, because he would have tried to protect her even more at that point. So he'd been like, oh shit, you are the lost heir. We gotta, oh no. So, and I think Arabin was trying to tell her that, like, dude, don't do this. Like, this is your last chance. Get her to open up about who she is.
I'm sorry. Do you think Arabin has some redeeming quality here?
Arabin wants Celaena back. He doesn't want her dead.
Okay. I can agree to that.
That's why he got her arrested and not killed. Because I still think it's Arabin. So I think that's what happened.
But she gets sent to Endovir. So
yes.
The fuck.
In my eyes, he sends her to Endovir as punishment for Skull's Bay, for not trusting him, for trying to leave him. He's a sick fuck.
People live less than a month there. So
no.
He has, yeah.
Yes. But remember, we learned that there was an agreement for her to stay alive. That's why she stayed alive. There was an agreement.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But I thought that was just to brutalize her more, to extend her pain.
But yes, but also keep her alive. Make sure she doesn't die. That was the whole point. Because the whole point is to make her suffer and beg and beg and beg for Arobin to come save her.
Oh, that's what you think it is? You think
yes.
Oh.
That's what he's trying to do right now. He's trying this route. He's showing up at her apartment saying, hey, don't do this. I even wouldn't do this. And she's still saying, I don't believe you because you're a piece of shit. Now, granted, it's Arobin's fault because he's a piece of shit and he's not trustworthy. I totally get it.
Yeah.
However, so he tried that route and he was like, he even warned her. He's like, I'm going to go to Sam, whatever. So he goes to Sam. And again, even though he's a weird dick, he could have came out and said, dude, she's the fucking princess. But instead, he was like, he gave Celaena the chance to tell Sam, because I don't think he wanted Sam dead, really. I don't think his idea was like, I want Sam dead. He probably was like, okay, if I get Celaena back, I can get Sam back. I can get both back. That's his thinking. That's my thinking.
I don't think he gives a shit about Sam.
He doesn't, but at least he gets 2 assassins back.
Yeah.
He's still property. Sam is still his property.
That's true.
So I think that's his thinking. He's trying to get Sam to go to Celaena, but Celaena's still being a stubborn shit and not saying anything to Sam. So now Arobin has to do whatever he thinks he has to do by killing Sam and getting Celaena arrested, which is gross, beyond gross, absolutely disgusting. But that's his thinking. That's how these people think.
That is freaking ridiculous and terrible.
That's crazy, right?
I can't even imagine thinking that way. Like, my brain doesn't work that way, which is why you had to break it down for me.
Yeah.
What?
But do you understand it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
That is some...
That's some next level narcissism, sociopath, gaslighting, like, yeah, gross.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting.
And that's why he's the most dangerous.
Arobin is the most dangerous? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, the king is the most powerful, but I think Arobin's the most dangerous.
Okay, yeah. Even more so than Rourke Farron?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Well, we know.
I mean, yeah,
we already know what happens to Rourke Farron.
Yeah, Wesley.
Yeah, Wesley kills him, so that's
But then
Arobin's
Arobin
dude.
kills Wesley.
We don't know who killed Wesley.
Yeah.
Do we know Arobin killed Wesley?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, he did.
That's what Kale, I think Kale told her.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And that was obviously to shut him up.
I can't wait to hear more about that. That's got to be coming up in, Heir of Fire or Queen of Shadows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
Now, if we were reading this first,
yes,
we would probably start seeing the signs. I would start seeing this. I wouldn't think Sam would be dead, but I would think something bad's going to happen.
The foreshadowing?
Yes. Because I'd be like, oh, there's warnings coming from Arobin. There's this and this. But so I would be worried. I'd be like, oh no, what's going to happen? Because again, we're getting close to the end of the book. We already know we are.
Yep.
So we know something crazy is going to happen.
It's 100 pages, SJM book. It's
Yes.
going to be crazy.
All right. So speaking of, next week is the finale for Assassin's Blade.
I'm so excited.
What's crazy is we already know what happens.
I know, right?
We know what happens.
That didn't stop me from crying, though, at all.
So we're still going to have fun with it. We might not have any tinfoil hat theories because we know what happens afterwards. We've read the next 2 books.
I feel like we're going to have some theories about what, at the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some things that we can play around with, but nothing like crazy like at the end.
Because as far as we know, Arobin's still alive.
Yeah, of course. But there was nothing in Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight that mentioned anything what Arobin's doing lately. So that's what I mean. Like, there's no real tinfoil hats to be like, oh, Arobin's probably doing this. So it's not going to be as crazy as Crown of Midnight.
That's true. That's true, where we had all of those theories. Yeah, or even Throne of Glass. We had a whole bunch, especially about the clock tower.
Well, that's what I mean, because everything's moving forward. This was a...
backward.
This was a before.
Oh, now we're in the after.
Now we're going to go back to the after.
I'm ready to go back to the before. After we go.
Well, now we go
back
to He
to
Said,
the
She
after.
Said. Are you ready?
I am. Let's go.
All right, folks, it's time for He Said, She Said, the game where we test each other's knowledge of this week's chapters by guessing who said what.
Or more accurately, it's the game where I win because Scott either overthinks it or totally blanks out.
Excuse me? I'm just giving you the illusion of superiority. It's called strategery.
Is that what we're calling it? Anyway, we've each picked 3 quotes, and the other person has to guess who said them. 30 seconds, no hints, no lifelines, maybe some multiple choice if he begs.
And apparently no mercy either. Let's get to it before Genevieve starts drafting her victory speech. Welcome back to He Said, She Said for The Assassin and the Empire Part 1. So this is second to last. We got one more after this. How do you feel?
I feel spectacular. I am ready to win this round. I think I got it. I will admit I immediately had to change my easy to the medium because I was trying to remember your parameters and I had already messed it up.
Oh, God.
So I think I'm good.
Okay. So what you're saying is we should probably thinking about changing the intro to this game, is what you're saying.
I did listen to the intro again, and I might have misspoken about this, about who's the better at this.
Okay, so, well, let's see what we got. Go ahead and easy one, hit me.
All right, easy. If you go to the vaults again, I'll hop in and beat you unconscious myself.
That is Celaena to Sam.
Did I do it right?
Yes, you did.
Yes! All right, fabulous.
All right.
Very excited. Okay, what do you got for me?
I hate packing.
I liked this part, so I remember it very distinctly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad about that she didn't respond in kind to Sam's I love you.
Tism.
Yeah, but she said I hate packing. So that was Celaena to Sam.
That is correct. Good job.
Thanks.
All right. Medium.
So the medium one, this is what I had it easy. Now tell me if it could have stayed it easy. I'm not going to grovel.
That's not bad.
Okay.
I'm going to say Sam to Celaena.
Yes.
Okay. Talking about groveling to Arabin?
Yes.
Yep.
But it could have been either of them saying it to the other. Is that kind of...
No, this was another tough one because when I was going through the chapters 1 through chapter 5 trying to find my quotes, it was just mostly Celaena and Sam talking to each other.
Mostly, yeah.
And then Arabin. So it was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
So we can like kind of forgive with the medium, the easy, and all that because it was a rough one again.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, what's your medium one?
Should I be relieved or worried you haven't said anything? What?
That's my bonus.
That's your bonus? Oh, okay.
I was like, hey, wait a minute.
All right. So we don't have to do your bonus?
Well, yes. All right, so we don't have to do my bonus. That is Sam to Celaena.
Yes, it is.
After she caught him in the vaults. How dare you? You said you wouldn't go back here, kind of, sort of.
Someone broke the first rule of Fight Club and talked about Fight Club.
You're not supposed to do that.
Nope. All right, hard one.
All right, hard one. Generous.
Okay. I like where you went with that one. Single word ones are always hard. Generous. Who is generous? Oh, I want to say that it's Arobin telling Celaena that he's being generous.
If I say it like this,
Mm-hmm.
generous? Does that change who you think it might have been?
Well, then it's either Sam to Celaena or Celaena to Sam then.
It is Sam to Arobin.
Oh, Sam to Arobin. Okay.
Because he's like, this is more than generous. And Sam's like, generous?
Okay, yeah.
What?
All right, you ready for mine?
Yes.
You look more or less the same.
You look more or less the same.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. That was, that's Wesley.
Yes.
That's Wesley to Celaena. When they came back into the keep. That's right.
He's like one of the only other people that talk in this entire first half of The Assassin in the Empire.
I had to immediately go, okay, it wasn't anybody that we've been talking about.
Yeah. All right.
Wesley.
So
okay.
we ruined your bonus because your bonus was my medium. So I'll just go ahead and. All right. You are free to move away.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You are free to move away, says pompous Arobin.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a hard one to choose hard ones.
It was. Yeah. That's why I went with generous. I was like, there's a one-word one.
But it's still one of three people.
Yeah. Well, and then you've got Wesley.
Well, Wesley said two things. He said one thing to Sam and one thing to Celaena. And that was it.
Like something, what happened to you, boyo, or something like that.
Yeah. And then like, you look more or less the same.
Yeah.
You know, he still really isn't like Celaena.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
right.
Hopefully the last part, the finale, will give us a lot more to work with.
Yeah. And we'll have some more quotes to work with. All right.
Maybe we'll pick one of the ones that make you bawl your eyes out.
Okay, let's not do that.
Yeah. All right, let's head over to Assassin's Whisper.
All right, let's go.
Welcome, Seekers of Secrets, to Assassin's Whisper. I am Obsidian, sharp as a blade, clever as a riddle, and never where you expect me.
And I am Garnet, the shadow you sense but cannot see, and the voice that carries truths only the bold dare to hear.
Together, we are the Keepers of Whispers, guardians of the secrets of Aurelia, entrusted to pass them on to only the most cunning assassins.
This is your covert briefing, a recap of what has transpired in the world of Aurelia. Pay attention, assassin. The truth is a weapon, and we're here to make sure you wield it well.
Listen carefully for every whisper.
Welcome back, my deadly darlings. The Whispers have been waiting for you, and this week, they watched from the shadows as freedom came with a price tag no one saw coming. With no contracts on the horizon, Sam steps into the vaults, fists first. A little blood for a lot of coin. But don't worry, Celaena's not watching from the sidelines for long.
Because when they cut ties with Arobin for good, he doesn't just let them walk, he makes her pay everything. Clean break? Not when the king of the assassins is still playing puppet master with a smug little smile and access to her bank account.
Still, the whispers travel fast. There's a job, a big one. Take down Iwan Jane, the most powerful crime lord in Rifthold, and his favorite butcher, the sadistic Rourke Farron. Sam's ready, Celaena's stubborn. Even when Arobin warns them off, her pride's louder than the danger.
And now, the plan's in motion, the target is chosen, and the southern continent is calling. But be warned, my lovely blades, sometimes it's not the mission that kills you, it's what you think you already know.
So sharpen your daggers, hold your secrets close, and remember, some goodbyes are just preludes to the next betrayal.
Until next time, walk the shadows and trust only the whispers.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of Booked for Two.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review to help other book lovers find the show.
Find us on socials at Booked for Two Podcast for behind-the-scenes content, updates, and sneak peeks. We'll also post next week's chapters every Sunday so you can read along.
Join us for our live Q&A every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central on TikTok. We'll answer your burning questions, react to your theories, and occasionally overshare our book-related emotional damage.
Want even more chaos? Join our Discord. The link's in our bio. Come hang out, chat books, get early access to exclusive content.
Finally, don't forget to grab your stickers and bookmarks at booked42.com.
Until next time, keep turning the page.